What's up, brother?
How you doing?
I'm good, man. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good.
You look tired.
I've had a long day for sure.
Yeah,
You could say that.
I can see that. I
Yeah.
can tell. I can tell because like there's more shadow on your face than usual, only because your chin is slightly more down, so the brim of your hat is covering more. Where usually your chin is usually more up. So
Yeah. No, I'm sure all the tells were there. Yeah, I've had enough of today, but that's okay. You still show up even when you don't feel like it, don't want to, right?
you do, and you know what? It's funny because we plan this every 2 weeks, and I thought the same thing today. I was like, fuck, we doing this today, right? And I was like, yeah, we didn't do it last week because we were in Vegas, right? So I was like, fuck, that came up quick, man. I was like, dang, man, I'm not, fuck it. Just, I'll drink a coffee and I'll be good. And I'll be switch
Yeah,
the
no,
gear.
it is what it is. And reality is, most days when you're doing something big, you're not ready, and you're not going to feel like it, and life on some levels sucks, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's just the way it is. And it's the people that perform and the people that have the lifestyle that everybody wants to have are the ones that figure out how to fucking do it anyway. And so, yeah, that's why we're here. We're here anyway. We're here for the Iron Apex, and we're here to drop value. We haven't, admittedly, like Philippe and I haven't had enough time to really sit down and put together what we really want to put together for what the Iron Apex is. And we even though we haven't, we're still here, and we're still producing, we're still giving value, we're still doing all that. And maybe that's the lesson we're supposed to teach everybody. God wants us to show them that even if it doesn't look clean, even if it's not clean, even if you feel like you've totally crapped the bed and you're like way behind. I feel that all the time. Philippe and I entered into a relationship, a partnership, a business partnership that we haven't taken advantage of yet. But the cool part is there's a reason why we chose each other to do this, and that
Yeah.
is it's okay. And I'm not going to be pissed off at him. He's not going to be pissed off at me. In less than a month's time, they're going to welcome a new amazing baby to their family. And honestly, that's the kind of shit that I like. No offense to any of you watching an hour later, fuck the podcast. That's what's important. Like
Yeah.
this new baby that's coming, the amazing father and husband that Philippe is, the amazing father and husband I try to be for my family. And reality is, do I meet the mark all the time? No. There's definitely times like my kids can sense just no differently than Philippe could that dad's not having the best day he can have. And so they're going out of their way to try to give me extra hugs and other stuff. And that's the reality is that's what's important. And so like when we're talking about God, faith, leadership, peak performance, iron apex, iron sharpening iron, sometimes that sharpening process sucks. And the cool part is though, like man, we had a great week last week. I was unplugged all week. Every time I go on vacation, it makes me want to be on permanent vacation. I don't know about you.
That's the
And
problem
I'm
with it.
like,
We're
like,
never long
how do
enough.
I retire like yesterday so I can do this every day? But the reality is, it's no different than summer vacation. And I think back, my kids just went on summer vacation. I think back when I went on summer vacation, I would have fun for like 1 or 2 weeks, and then it would go to, now I'm bored. Now what?
Yeah.
And the cool part of what we're doing and what Philippe and I are trying to do. So we were at a conference last week. Let's shout out to Gil, shout out to Dave, shout
Yeah.
out to the whole team, Austin, all the other people that were on stage. And the reality is, we got a perspective that 95% or more, maybe 100% of insurance agents would never get.
Never get.
Philippe and I went to a marketer, like a marketing company event. Like we are not marketing companies, but at the same time, every business is a marketing company.
Yeah.
And what we found out, like honestly, bro, probably one of the biggest things I got from that whole weekend was when Brad Lee was standing on stage. Brad Lee, um, in a room full of marketers, and not one marketer had asked Brad Lee if he needs marketing.
Yeah.
Yet all of them are there because they don't know who to sell to or how to sell to them.
Yeah.
Reality, like that's just a microcosm of it's not just our. And so what made me realize, Philippe, it's not just the Medicare and insurance industry; it's every industry. Every
100%.
every person sitting there like a baby bird, waiting for Mama and Papa God or whatever they believe in or whatever to come feed them. And the reality is, no one's going to come feed us. Like when I think about what I've built, nobody came to save me. Like now people want to work with me. But in those first 6 months when I had no money, no credit, I was negative on every month, I was borrowing money. There's nobody knocking at my door to come work with me then. But I still
100%.
pick myself up every morning. I still had to motivate myself. I still do all the things. And that's the reality is the growth happens quietly. Growth happens in the dark. Growth happens consistently with discipline over time. And you know what we're putting together, like Philippe and I, like we're on just a precipice of all this, but we're going to be bringing AI to the not just the insurance agent. That's where our niche is, and that's where our focus is. But we're going to bring AI to the masses. We're going to bring I had the chance, like it came this close, Philippe, to paying $10,000, and then it was discounted to $7,000 for someone to clone me while I was in Dallas, like 2 weeks ago. And you know what I did yesterday? For $150. Now it's not perfect. Like what you told me was the voice is a little off and this and that.
There's some things off of it, but that's only because it's your first iteration. You got to spend more and you'll have a better quality video.
You know who I am.
Yeah.
You've heard the real Joshua and you've heard all that. But if you'd never met me before, you wouldn't know any different. Maybe other than there's like it's not clean.
There's
Right?
some glitch. There's some glitch in it. Yeah.
But here's what I'll tell you.
But for a runoff, and how long did it take you to make that though?
Bro, it took me 2 seconds.
Yeah, that's what I mean. For like 2 seconds. And like
I went to Claude, had Claude create the script.
Yeah.
I plugged the script into HeyGen. Yep. And then HeyGen created a digital, like 4 or 5 different videos for me. And reality is, could I have done those videos? Yes. How long would it take me? I don't know. Where reality is, I got them done. I got them pushed out. And so if they're not perfect, who cares? And that's the whole point of all this stuff. You know, I was the last 2 days, I've made $28,000 in commissions. 2 days. Nice. And the reality is how? Well, it's by helping people. And it's helping people do things on a bigger scale and a bigger level than most people think. But was it hard? No, it wasn't hard. In fact, I learned how to do what I did 2 days ago by watching someone who's at the top of the game for what they do. I watched them do what they do like 3 or 4 times, and I just did what they did, and I said what they said, Philippe. And believe it or not, that's all you got to do. Like, if you haven't been to SWAT yet, but that's what they say over and over. Find someone who has what you want, do what they do, and you'll get what they have. Yeah. And so simple, but at the same time, just because something's simple doesn't mean it's easy.
Right, for sure.
In fact, most things that work are both simple and hard, and not hard like a little bit, like hard on levels that you can't imagine. Hard on levels where you're going to want to quit like 2 seconds into it. You're going to be like, you know what? Never mind. I changed my mind. I don't want to do this anymore. But those of us that push through that pain, that reality of like we're all the same. Like there's nothing that's special about Joshua Youngs or Philippe Lundstedt other than we are unique individuals in that we don't give up. That when it gets harder, we push harder. That when we don't know, we ask. In that when we you start thinking of something, like figure it out. Like my whole life, I've wondered like, how the hell is anybody else alive? Like just figure it out. Like everything in life is so fucking simple. If you just take a little bit of time to dedicate yourself to figuring it out, and that process and that growth, honestly, the figuring out part's really cool. But honestly, the most rewarding part for me personally, I don't know about you, Philippe, but the most rewarding part for me is proving to myself that I can figure it out. That no matter what happens, and like there's been times, I don't know, at least 100 times in the last year where I've wanted to quit, where I thought I didn't have enough money, where I thought I was going to run out of money, where I thought I was going to have to make adjustments, where I thought I was going to have to fire somebody. And you know what I did? I figured it out.
Yeah.
I took the problem that was in front of me. I asked people that have been through the same problem I've been through before. I got perspective. Now, does it mean every single time I run through something, I take the advice that someone gives me as gospel? No. But the reality is I've seen both you and I go through this, even just in the last 3-4 months where we've really started to get to know each other. Like, the being an MC at an event. Like, for those of you, Philippe was a phenomenal MC. And here's what I'll tell you. I would be a shitty MC. and the reason is, to be a good MC, you have to be good at making it about other people.
Yeah.
You have to be good at, like, reality is the MC is the unsung hero of any good event, whether it's the Grammys, whether it's the Limitless Live, Agency Live that we went to, whatever it is, the MC is the one that keeps people awake, keeps the pulse going. And bro, you, like, if no one's told you, there's a reason why people keep hiring you as an MC.
Yeah, I know it's not my fucking gig either. I love when people are like,
Not even close to your gig.
An MC for? I'm like, I'm not a fucking MC, man. Like,
no, but your personality is an MC personality,
dude. That's thank you, Medicare.
Right. And that's one thing about Philippe, and you guys, for those of you watching or not watching, I had somebody reach out to me on Facebook saying, "Hey, tell me about this Philippe guy." I went to an event that he emceed at, and he seems like a really square guy.
Oh no, that one I presented at. I was a keynote at that one.
Well, but still, people are. What the point is, people noticed you, but still, even though they noticed you, they're still what?
Yeah,
they're still like, man, this seems too good to be true. There's no way this guy is the way he is. Yeah. And so someone literally reached out to me to ask about you because they've seen us in videos, and that just tells you the level of people. Like, in the world we're in today, mistrust is the new currency.
Oh yeah, we're in a trust deficit, right? Like, that is
it's a massive trust deficit, and people are like, this is too good to be true. This is fake. Even something stupid like, oh, I rent a Lamborghini to make content, which to me is gay as hell. But I can also see the angle of, if it works, then shut the fuck up. Yeah. Like, what do you bitch about? Because you couldn't even afford to rent the Lamborghini, or because you can't afford to buy one?
And maybe I was like, and what if it was in a different city? Like, I was going to Miami and I rented a Lambo when I was in Miami. Like,
yeah, like, fuck you.
Like, why, like, especially for you, you're like, do you know where I live, dude? A Lambo would be a terrible choice for a vehicle where I live.
Yeah, no. If I was out where I'm at and I had a Lambo, it'd be bad in every level possible.
Terrible choice. You breaking rims and shit, like, dude, all kinds of stuff.
Right? And the people in the town would just judge me for it, right?
Yeah, it'd be terrible. It would not be a good look.
There's no positive there. But the reality is, who gives a shit?
Yeah.
Like, the more I've been thinking about it lately, I'm like, you know what? I'm not worried about it. I don't give a shit what A or B or C or D thinks about me. The only people I care who think about me are my kids, my wife, my friends, my brothers, my family. But even at some level, I don't give a shit what any of them think either.
I don't care what my friends and family think about me. I care what my wife and kids think about me. I care where I stand in God's eyes, but
Yeah, and that's the reality of the whole thing is, like, are you keeping perspective in what you're doing? Are you allowing God to lead the journey that you're on? Because I have gone back and forth. I'm sure you have too, where there's times in my life where I let God lead the ship. There's times in my life where I think, well, for whatever reason, good, bad, or indifferent, I take over the ship.
Yeah.
And the reality is, man, you want to talk about trials and tribulations? I've been on the top of the fucking mountain, and I've had people trying to bury me. And the reality is, what I learned in this process is I'm not buriable. The only person who can bury me is God or me.
Yeah.
And so, today's podcast, if you will, the whole purpose of this is so that Philippe and I can bring value to people on a level that they might not get from anywhere else. And that's what I've learned over my 21-year career, is whether you're in insurance or real estate or any other sales environment of any kind, the reality is the top 1 or 2% gatekeep the bullshit information. That reality is, there's no real magic hack. Like today, when I helped this person turn 65, who was a referral from their brother, who demanded to work with me and nobody else. The reality is, the only reason they wanted to do that was because of how I made the first person feel.
Right. Yeah.
and that I genuinely care about every person that comes into my office, comes into my life. Am I doing what's right for them? Am I making their life better? And man, the cool part is, like Coach Burt would drill this into my head. If you want to make more money, solve bigger problems.
Yeah, right, and that's what we're doing. I think a lot about what Iron Apex is, because like I always want to make more money, and I think there comes a point even in the Medicare game where personal book, right? Personal book, unless you're going agency and doing FMO on a personal level, there is an endpoint. There's a finish line. Like you can only have so many clients before you're like, dude, I've got like 10 assistants, you know what I'm saying, running like customer service because I've got 5,000 freaking clients in a book. It's just not realistic, right? And you're getting close to that, where it's like on a personal level, you're at your finish line. You're like, I can't take any more personal Medicare clients really, unless it's like filling attrition, but your retention is so good that you don't have a lot of attrition.
I'd have to drop my standards to keep going.
That's what I mean, right? So then you unless you're an agency owner, which you are, right? You don't really have a solve for that problem, because your solve is easy. I just bring in another broker and then fill that broker's book of business with this book of business. That's it. You're just filtering it through, and you're having somebody taught on your doctrination and how you do things, right? So that's great for like the agency pool, but what does an individual do, And even in the agency pool, when you start to look at like, big thing for me is impact, right? Like that's one of my leading drivers, right? Like for some people it's money, and for some there's no wrong answer for why you want to do stuff, right? I just realized a long time ago that nobody gives a shit who sells the most Medicare. Nobody does, right? There's no books or statutes. And if you said who was the number one selling Medicare agent in 1960, right? Or who's the number one Medicare agent in 2009? Nobody fucking knows, dude. Nobody knows. Nobody remembers. It doesn't matter how many policies were sold. It doesn't matter. They're not fucking remembering. They have no idea, right? It's like name dropping in the Medicare business is almost like, what the fuck are we doing? Like, what are we doing?
Like, who was the top amateur golf player last year?
Nobody fucking knows, right? But PGA, people know that shit from the fucking 80s, from the 50s, from the 30s and shit, right? Like World Cup, like it's different because that's legacy, right? So it's like, when I think about like the impact that I want to leave in an industry like this, it's around the big buzz of AI and automation, because I know that that's the bigger thing. That's the bigger problem. That's the bigger fix.
You either leverage AI or you get crushed by everybody else who is.
I just think it's more than that, right? Like I think when we talk about like what you just talked about here was perspective, right? And I think the perspective is so closed off in the Medicare world because it's old school sales style. I think a lot of people, they just don't welcome new ideas, or they think, well, that's not for my industry, or, hey, what if it ain't broke, don't fix it kind of mindset. And I think there's so much on the AI level, just even on the base understanding of AI that can change people's worlds, right? And then when you implement it properly with the right guardrails, the right structures, see, that's what I got out of this weekend is, holy shit. Like, I use AI a lot, and we're doing advanced stuff at ProCare with AI. And some of the things that I heard that weekend from Jay were just like, dude, like the guardrails come off, and the front end, back ends, how simple it is to just run those through WCP codes and all this stuff. It's, to me, I was just like, that's what's up. And then the stuff from Mina as well is really good. But anyways, there were so many good parts of that gives perspectives, because like in our world, to make $100K a month is a big fucking deal. That's a big deal. That's not like, just stay in the business 20 years, you'll be at $100K a month. Absolutely not.
I know hundreds of motherfuckers have been in the business.
Most people die at between 10 and 20K. They don't know what to do, and they get crushed by their business, and they drop 10, 20, 10, 20, 10, 20, because they're pissing off half their people because they have no systems. They can't get in touch quick enough, or all they do is celebrate. They got the 10K and all they do is celebrate. And in our business, 99% of the way people celebrate is typically in a bottle or at a bar or something like that, right? And hey, more power to you. I'm not saying you're right or wrong, but I'm just saying, like, you do that at a certain threshold, you're always going to stay underneath that threshold because you've got nothing that you're tethered to that's pulling you out of that. We're all in these jars with lids, and we need somebody to remove them. And a lot of times perspective is what removes that jar, that lid. And I'm so glad that I was able to experience doing something like this with you, because, I've been doing this for 5 years by myself, by my fucking self, dude, going to e-com conferences and marketing conferences and learning from people in the room where the minimum is 100K a month. That's the fucking minimum is 100K a month.
Yeah, you're
and
the bottom.
Guys in that room making $2 million a month MRR. $2 million a month MRR, man. Monthly recurring revenue, guys, if you don't know what I'm talking about. $2 million of monthly recurring revenue. And I'm like, God dang, man. Talk about what
some
guy
specializing in med spas.
In med spas
and
peptides.
Or
That's
fucking
his niche down.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's his freaking niche down. His total addressable market is minuscule compared to ours. Yeah. And you look at that and you're like, wow, because he's selling something that's a bigger solve, right? And I think in our industry, there are problems. And I can name a lot of them, but all those problems are very situational. And the situation that it leads to is I just want to sell more. I want more clients. I want more return on investment. I want to have a full calendar. And that's something that what me and Josh are trying to put together here through Iron Apex is a format that's going to work for people. And it's not about burying you in leads. Because if you were to look at my CRM in its raw form, you'd be like, what the fuck, man? Like, how do I work this? I said, you wouldn't know how to. I know it because I've been building it for 5 years and there's all this stuff, right? But when you start to dumb down and pull out, like, what does a broker really need? Like, what do you really need? You're not doing everything. You're probably not even doing 25% of the stuff that me and Josh are doing. And that's okay. You don't need to be necessarily. But when you're a pioneer and you're Lewis and fucking Clark, you're out in the wilderness, dude. You need all the supplies, right? So him and I, we do a lot of shit because we're trying to be an impact in this industry to open up a pathway for regular Joe brokers that maybe don't know shit about technology. They can follow a pathway of technology and not become obsolete. Because all they can do is implement some tools, take some classes, learn something at their own pace, and join a community that's going to back them and help them educate and learn how to use their systems properly. And the best thing about it is, like, me and Josh ain't trying to recruit you. I ain't fucking recruiting you. I'm trying to help you. And by the way, if this comes to a shock, we ain't helping you for free. We're doing this for free, and we're giving you information and knowledge. But to join that circle and get those done for you services, that costs money, and for us, we're just starting this. We've been using this in our companies for years and years and years. And it's a big driver of Josh's success, a big driver of my success. And the best people that utilize this stuff, they ain't in our freaking industry. Guess what industry they're in? Marketing industry, where we were just at, where the minimum is 100K a month for revenue, Guys, 100K a month is $1.2 million a year in MRR and monthly recurring revenue. How many Medicare sales do you need to do? 2,380, 2,400, 2,400. 2,400 to have a 1.2 million multiplier, right? 2,400. How far off are you from 2,400? If you're listening to the podcast, how far away are you? Right?
Yeah, baby.
If you're lucky, you're at 1,000. And if you're lucky, you're growing.
Preach.
Because where's your automation? Where's this? Where's that? Big situation happens and you got 400 or 500 people to flip, 1,000 people to flip.
What are the 3 systems somebody needs, Philippe?
100%. You need something that is working on acquisition, like acquisitions 100%, whether it's a Facebook lead or whatever lead, something needs to be automated where there's, where you're turning that lead into an appointment.
Scalable acquisition. Yeah. So again, I built my entire, I'm in the top 1%, but I built my entire agency off of referrals and word of mouth. 95% of it. The problem with that acquisition system is it's not scalable. Mm-hmm. So I need to find another unicorn who has the same skill sets as I do in order to duplicate myself versus a true acquisition system. And so there's people I've seen out there. I'm not going to name any names yet because I want to reach out to them first and get them onto our podcast. But there's people out there I see who have systems and processes who bring some little 25-year-old kid into this business and they're making 40, 50, 60 grand a month within 2 to 3 months just plugging into an acquisition system. Yeah. But I'm here to tell you, that's the sexy part of it. Acquisition, getting the money in is the easy part. No offense to anybody who's doing this. The hard part, you also got to have a system of what?
You have to have nurture, man. You got to have follow-up.
Retention. You got to have a retention,
which is all nurture, right? So like nurture is the marketing word for retention is nurture.
Yes.
If you nurture your babies, they will survive and they will stay with you and they will love you. You have to nurture your clients as if they're your children. It's
I challenge all of you to go to Walmart right now, buy a 99-cent pack of flower seeds and just plant them and see how many grow if you don't do anything else.
Yeah, no, none of them will grow.
And then wait 6 weeks and do it again. But this time, water them, weed them, fertilize them, nurture them, and see how many of those seeds pop and grow. And that's the reality is most people, I'm no different. You know what I would love, Philippe? I would love to do nothing and make unlimited money. What do I sign up for the I do nothing and make unlimited money thing? Because here's
crypto, bro. It's crypto.
Well, yeah, you had to have bought so much Bitcoin back when they were selling it for a nickel.
Yeah, exactly.
That you didn't know what to do with, and you didn't buy the pizza for 50,000 Bitcoin. You didn't do the other stuff. But the reality is, there is no real model today in today's environment that allows you to do that. But what the Iron Apex is going to bring you, we're planning a workshop, we're planning a school. We're planning an onboarding system. We're planning an inner circle mastermind where we're looking for 15 to 20 people to bring in that, like, we're not trying to recruit you. Like, honestly, what'll end up happening once you start working with people like this, it'll be a recruiting funnel. Like, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. Here's one thing about me and Philippe you're going to fucking find out. I'm not here to sugarcoat anything. I'm not here to fucking pretend nothing. Like, do we want to recruit you? Yes. I want to save as many people from shitty situations as possible. Let me put this way, Philippe. I'm not even going to name names yet, but I'm going to put them on blast if I have to. We have an agent we just recruited who I've been working on for like 2 years, just like you. Only his upline, when he went to ask for a release, you want to guess what happened, bro?
Well, they said no.
Well, no, it's worse than no. They've been giving him free leads. They recruited him on, we'll give you free leads, right?
Okay. Yeah, they got debit.
So guess what the reciprocal release I got sent to me and him the other day was?
They got to buy out. He's got to pay back all the leads.
He's got to pay back $26,000 for bullshit, low-income, piece of shit mail order leads that they got at wholesale cost that they're now trying to charge $32 a piece for, that are pieces of fucking shit. And that's what our industry is a bunch of fucking loser motherfuckers. And you know who you are. So I hope you watch this, because I'm going to call your bitch ass out by name soon. You better just fucking do the right thing, or I'm going to fucking call your bitch ass out by name, and you're a fucking upline, and your bitch asses who are trying to fucking say, we give you free leads on the front side, but when you want to release, we're going to charge you $26,000 for shitty fucking leads. I'm here to tell you right now, fuck all of you bitches that are doing this shit in our industry, and we're here to clean fucking house. I'm fucking done with this bullshit. There's so many fucking snakes in this fucking business. And
there are, but there's some good ones too.
No,
right?
no, there are. But the problem is,
a lot of good ones.
The good ones don't have the fucking voice and the fucking arrogance like you and I do to fucking call that shit out. And most of them just fly under the fucking radar and pretend like everything's fucking fine so they don't disrupt shit. But I'm here to tell you, fuck you, you fucking loser fucking uplines who are taking advantage of people who don't give releases, who fucking pretend they're fucking awesome, who pretend they provide fucking value, who have systems and processes. Listen, I've been through all the systems and processes, and most of them are shit. Most of them are fucking unethical. And the reality is, Philippe and I are here to bring the opposite. We're here to give you actual systems and processes that work, show you the actual stuff that people are actually doing to make a profit, and avoid all the other bullshit. And so, you know, like, if you can't tell, I'm passionate as hell about this stuff. And I got fortunate enough that I'm so good at producing that even despite people trying to bury me, they couldn't. Versus most people in this scenario that I'm in, or even this agent I'm talking about, bro, he's ready to quit the industry because of this shit. And I've talked him out of it twice. And the reality is, all this does, this stupid fucking piece of shit upline who pretends like he's buff and lifting weights on fucking videos and all this shit all the time, and flying on his jets and doing all this fucking shit off the backs of other people instead of lifting up other people. Like, talk to Tyler Tingu on my team, who I've known since I was 4. I can give you names of people that I've brought from nothing, given them everything I have, and on the back end, I'm not looking to take anything. And there's not one person ever I've had who I haven't given an instant release when they asked for it.
I'm the
Not
same
one.
way, dude. You want to release tomorrow? Done.
Like,
Yesterday.
please, no,
Done
I
yesterday.
can't help you. Like,
Whatever you need.
honestly, I look
You
at
need
it
to
as
make a video. Like
if
you need me
I'm
to
not
write a
it,
letter. Like
yes.
I got you. Let's
If
go.
I'm not
I
it,
want you
if
out of here as
Felipe's
quick
not
as you
it,
want to go.
fucking let's let you go where you need to go.
100%. I'm not going to block your success. And if your success isn't with me, I'm not taking that as a personal attack. That's not any weight on me. Just means it was no longer a fit. And sometimes shit don't fit no more. And you just got to let it go, bro. It's not up to you, man. God's plan, right? Hey, you give it, you take it. That's fine with me. You know, and I've lost talent, and it usually happens when you do an upline change. Usually when there's an upline change, for some odd reason, that's when you're going to lose talent. That's when you're going to lose people, right?
Well,
so
it's
that's
okay.
in my experience. That's when it's
Yeah, no,
happened
me
most
too.
is when I do an
Well,
upline change.
honestly, bro, it didn't happen to me the first 2 times I moved. First 2 times I moved, everybody came with me. This last time,
last 2 times I moved, I
had a
lost
toxic upline that decided they were going to recruit our top talent. And here's what I'll tell you. I'm okay with it. You can't blame them. Shit. No, I'm okay with it. Like I get it. I get why. I just don't have it in me to do that.
Yeah.
Like it's not me. It's cool. You do you, boo-boo, but it's not me. But it still pisses me off that these fuck sticks like parade around like they're the fucking God's gift.
A lot of animals in the jungle, brother. You know what I mean? We all got different ways to kill. You know what I'm saying?
Like, well, yeah, I don't want to kill
predators.
I don't want to kill. That's the
got to though. I mean, it is what it is, brother. Like there's always going to be that kill scenario where it's not about doing someone injustice, but like I'm not about stepping on people, but I am about moving fast, right? And sometimes that means that you're just breezing by people. And some people think I'm an asshole because I move quick and I don't apologize for it. I'm not like, oh, hey, my bad, man. I'm sorry that my ambition and my drive is significantly higher than yours. And I didn't realize that I needed to stop and slow down so that you feel better for your lack of. Like, well, I mean, I don't understand.
Bro, in this process of you moving to work with us, you lost an agent over what? Over this podcast.
Over this podcast.
And the reality is,
and listen, a great learning experience for me, right?
You weren't even fucking talking about that person.
I wasn't. But you know, it was a great learning experience about that, you know, some people, again, some people are going to get offended by certain stuff. And it's, you know, it's never, my intention is never to offend anybody, right? That's not my intention. My intention is to be true to me,
valuable,
and well, true to me, and with my own integrity. I don't sugarcoat stuff. I try not to be, you know, I try not to be so brash and try to be more gentle and as patient as possible. Those are the two fruit of the spirit that I really suffer with. Completing with is being gentle, right? So I'm not the most gentle person, but I am very honest in my feelings, and I will never share my opinion and then be like, that's it. I don't want to hear anything else. I'm always like, this is my opinion. I'm like that guy on the college campus, like, convince me, right? Like, this is my opinion. Convince me differently. I love debate, like not argument, debate. I love to hear other people's opinions because usually what happens, it gives you a new perspective to the way that you view things.
Both sides grow. Yeah.
Right. And it's like, you know, drive, I think, is a direct correlation to your ego. The lower your ego, the higher your drive can be. And sometimes it's vice versa. Some people are driven by their ego, but I feel like the less ego you have, the more driven you are, because you're more open to other people's ideals and opinions, and allows you to kind of get out of a lot of roadblocks, because we self-create roadblocks, right? Like for anybody in our industry, if they were like, hey, spend $5K, fly to Vegas, pay for the hotel, right? Fly to Vegas, do this whole thing, and then sign up for the mastermind, $15K. They'd be like, dude, you're fucked. No way. And you'd be like, well, what are you making? They're like, I'm doing like $400 a year. You're like, you're making $400,000 a year and you won't do this? Like, what? Right? But if I was like, hey, let's do the Bourbon Trail, right? And rent like a party bus and do that for like 10 days, it'll be like $20K a person, and we'll race Porsches and all kinds of shoot guns.
Like, shoot guns.
I'm in. Like, I'm in, right? Like, fuck yeah, let's do it. Right. And it's like, I don't know, man. Like, I think there's that paradigm shift that eventually happens for like, and I think that it's just different in our world when you're an agency owner. Like, people just think, oh, I just got agents underneath me, and then I get an override on their business. And then agents are so ignorant. I was talking to a buddy of mine about this, who's a very successful agency owner as well. His name is Jovan. He's a great guy. Jovan, if you're listening, brother, like, what's up? I love you. Great guy. We were kind of talking about how like the nuances of the new broker are, where they're so brazen now that they know that we get overrides, and they're requesting our overrides. They're like, hey, if I sell this, I make street level. I know that, but I've heard that I can make extra money. And I'm like, yeah, if you do ancillary products and you do this and we teach you how to do the upsell, we teach you that whole finesse so that instead of just making $600-700, you're making $1,000-1,200 on that app LTV, right? And they're like, oh, okay, no. What I mean is like there's a bonus like that you get, right? When I sell something, you get a bonus. And I'm like, yeah, there's overrides and stuff like that. And they're like, yeah. How much of that do I get? And I'm like, none of it. What the fuck are you talking about? Like for me, that's such a turnoff. I would just be like, hey man, this doesn't fit. And it was so funny because Javon said the best way. He was like, get out of my
is,
bro.
Some of the bigger uplines, they've gone around. I mean, like I can't go into the details because I'm under legal obligations.
No, I know what it is. There's plenty of companies that do it.
If the more you produce, the more someone's willing to give you to do whatever. And the reality is street level commission. I built my like a fifth of my empire in the first few years on barely street level. And the few years after that, I had an override that was at like when I moved, like the override I was getting was so small, but to me it was big. And so the reality is it doesn't matter. None of that shit matters. Like how much growth are you going to have? Can you double every year? And how many years in a row can you double your production and productivity? And because at a certain point, what I'll tell you from personal experience is you'll hit a ceiling of what you can do by yourself. And so I'm here to tell you, I've met a few guys. So honestly, bro, I just got introduced to this guy from my head of ops. This guy did 850 apps in AEP last year when I did 650. It made me like I'm a pussy when it comes to comparing myself to that guy. I did 650. I feel like I'm the fucking king of the world. And then I run into the guy who does 850 and didn't try. And when you look at the perspective of that, like for those of you like to really give you perspective on this industry, 850 applications in a 3-month period is more applications than 85% of all agents will do in their entire career, whether it's 10, 20, 30 fucking years. And the reality is I had an agent on my team last year who we don't have anymore because they decided to stay aligned with people I don't align with. In his 30-year career, he had done about 1/3 of what I've done in 8 years.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, how committed is he into systems and?
Well, he is in some level, but the reality is he's had 30 years of that residual income. Where is he richer than me right now? Probably, but let's look at the roster and the dossier when all the dust settles. And honestly, I'm running my race. What I look at now, Philippe, and what everyone who's watching or listening to this should look at is, am I doing better today than I did yesterday? Am I doing better today than I did 365 days ago? And if not, here's what I'll tell you. You're probably 1 or 2 adjustments, small, very small adjustments, but massive in scale and hard to do from being wherever you want to be. Because when I look at myself, the $95,000 Joshua, what's the difference between the $95,000 Joshua and the $1 million a year Joshua? Honestly, it's just a little bit of systems, processes, and staff. Like for me, my staff, Aaron, Zach, Carolina, Stephanie, and we're onboarding 4 new virtual assistants right now. We're about to bring on a full-time recruiter. Like how much investment am I putting into infrastructure? All of it. I'm taking every ounce of money I'm making on any level, and I'm putting it back into the business. But here's what I'm telling you. The first 4 years that Aaron and I ran this agency, we took 97% of the money out for our salary. And that's what most people do is they want to pull all of it out for salary. But the reality is, if you want to get where you want to go, you've got to invest in infrastructure. You got to invest in growth. You got to invest in marketing, and you either pay someone else. Like I came real close. Like I ain't gonna lie, Philippe, I get sold. That's why I was like, I don't want to go to this fucking conference with you because they're gonna fucking sell me on shit.
No, they didn't sell shit though. That was a good conference.
Well, they did though. Luckily, we already bought it.
We're already in.
Yeah, we're already in. We didn't have to buy it again. Otherwise, you know what you and I would have done? We would have fucking bought it.
Yeah.
But that's because both of us have that personality of, you know what? It's not about what it costs now. We think about what does it cost if we don't do it.
Yeah.
Like how much farther ahead is somebody else who says yes than me who says no.
Right.
And does that make me pray to good salespeople? Yes, I've been sold before, But here's what I'll tell you: every single person who sold me, like I can go down the line, Coach Burt, Cody Askins, the list goes on and on. But let's just take Cody Burt and Cody Askins. Both of them, I've spent more than $50,000 on each. Both, probably well more than that on both. But here's what I'll tell you: both of them have brought me well more than that in value back. Both of them. And in reality is most entities that are making you pay a big ticket item, it's not because they're trying to make more money off you. It's because they've gotten to such a level that they can't afford not to charge that level. Because here's what I'll tell you: I've done coaching programs, and when you do a coaching program or a Zoom or a workshop for a $97 ticket, the people that show up are exponentially more high maintenance, more pain in the ass, more complainer than if I were to sell a $10,000 ticket.
Of course, yeah, because you're taking serious people and you're getting tire kickers, the difference, right? And that's a big reason why, like, even in our programs where it's like, yeah, we want to give you as much free stuff as we can, but realistically, the gold comes from either you're gonna learn, right? And education takes time. There's no speed button on education. Like, how long it takes you to learn something is how long it takes you to learn it, right? And most people don't learn well because they give up when it's something new and they're uncomfortable. They don't want to go through it, right? So it's like, and typically, in my opinion, I don't want to hurt any feelings here. Typically, when I talk to people and I'm like, hey, when you're driving, what do you do? And if they're like, well, I listen to music or I listen to podcasts, I'm like, okay, yeah. So probably not somebody that's going to learn quickly. And it's not to say that you're an idiot. It just means typically when I talk to someone and they're a quick learner, they're listening to books. That's all they do is they crush books because they're trying to exponentially change their knowledge base quickly, right? So that's the people I know that are going to adapt and learn faster. It's just the truth. It's no offense to anybody, but if you want to learn faster, you train your brain just like you train anything. You want to lift more, you train your muscles, right? So when you want to learn something new, there's time that you have to put in. Now there's a sacrifice to time, and you can attach it to money. You can find out what your burn rate is, and you can say, oh wow, if I spend 20 hours for the next 6 months every month on learning this new marketing scheme or learning Facebook or learning LinkedIn or learning Instagram or learning fucking TikTok or whatever, because that's going to take you time to learn that shit, right? And it's like, how much money did I lose? Okay, well, all that money lost, add it up. And if that's more, if the money that you lost based on how much you're worth and how many hours you spent learning something, how much does that equate to? And I guarantee you could probably have spent 70% or less of that money, and you could have just hired a professional to do it for you that already has the fucking knowledge and does it better than you even after you learn it, because it's not your wheelhouse and it's not what you do. But I can't tell you how many times I talk to people, successful and not successful, that are at a lid, no matter what, they're still at a lid. And they say, oh, I'll just do that myself. I mean, I can do my own workflows. I can do my own marketing. I can do my own ads. I can do all this and I can do all that. I can do all this. I can do all that. You can. Why would you? Why would you spend the time doing it if you could just hire someone else to do it? And they can give you the KPIs. They can let you know when things change. They can adjust things for you. They can get your opinion, and you can chime in once a week and then not touch it and get all the reports and all the KPIs and have somebody that specifically, that's their fucking job to do that. The reason you don't do it is because you'd rather drive, or you'd rather go, or you'd rather eat, or you'd rather drink than put it into your business. Like what Josh was saying, right? Taking 97% of the income and using it as personal equity rather than saying, hey, man, this has got to go back into the company. This has got to go back in the business. And it's not in like, oh, let me buy an office with large square footage. Okay, that's great. Let me buy more leads. Okay, that's great. But what is your acquisition system? What's your system? Because it's got to be something like Josh was saying. It's got to be something that's repeatable, scalable. Scalable means repeatable, guys, right? If you're trying to scale something, it means that you need to be able to repeat it in an easy, understandable fashion that somebody that's 50% less talented than you could utilize immediately. A plug and play system. That is an actual system, something that's scalable. So what are you doing for acquisition? What does that look like? What are you doing for retention or for your nurture? What does that look like? What are you doing for upsells? What does that look like? Right? So like, what are these things that are happening that you're utilizing that are scalable? Because if it's like, oh no, I know how to do it and I train my guys on it. Okay, great. Where does that training live? Well, I give the trainings. Okay, well, where does that training live outside you doing the training? Are you have SOPs? Do you have technology classes, courses, training modules? What's going on here? How are you scaling that? Because are you to tell me that for the next 30 years, you're the fucking trainer, the CEO, the director of sales, the director of finance, the freaking marketing director, the ads director, the ads manager, the copy man? Like, what else do? You get the coffee? What else you do? You like neighborhood barbecuer? Like, what else? Captain of the little league team? What else? What else you do, man? Let me know. What else? Holy shit. Right? You're drinking out of a fire hose, brother. Like, slow down. You're only gonna do that for so long before you die.
Okay, we got a question. We got a question, Philippe. So I'm gonna ask it to you.
I love it.
Doesn't it also matter not just how much you produce, but also how much you are doing / growing a team or no team? How much coaching do you really need?
I mean, I don't think coaching ever stops, right? As things change and the world change and your situations change, you could use coaching for the rest of your life. Like, when does coaching ever really end? You know what I mean? So,
well, I guess my question would be, what professional at the highest level of anything, whether it's sport, business, life, whatever, what top level individual doesn't have coaching still?
I don't think any of them.
The answer is nobody.
Nobody.
Whether you're talking about the NHL or the MLB or the NFL or the professional soccer league or whoever, they all have a coach. Now, what's the coach's job at that level? What's the coach's job? It's to help cohesiveness. It's to help people get 1% better every day.
Yeah.
It's to help to remind, because everybody's a human being. They want to get lazy. They want to be creatures of habit. They want to fall into those things. But so the reality is, whether you're growing a team, whether you're an individual agent, whatever you are, you should have a coach, a mentor, a person that is giving you the truth. And so for myself, I'm gonna use myself as an example. I'm gonna be completely raw and authentic right now, Philippe.
Yeah.
For me, I can literally get away with giving 40, 30, even sometimes 25% effort and kicking the shit out of everybody else doing 100%. Now, what's the challenge there? The challenge there now becomes, do I need a coach? Yes. And every time I've hired a coach, I've leveled up. Every time I've hired somebody to keep me accountable, I've leveled up, because the more productive and the more special you are, the more you need a coach. But at the same time, it goes the other way. The less productive and the less organized you are, the more you need a coach too. And so it's really the only people who don't need a coach are the people that are okay with being mediocre. So if you're totally okay with just flying through life at the basic minimum and taking whatever it is that you get and all of that, you know what? Fucking unfriend us. Don't watch our podcast anymore, etc. But if you're somebody, whether you're in insurance or not, because what we apply, I guarantee you that if Philippe and I decided tonight that, you know what, fuck this, we're out of we're selling our insurance agencies tomorrow and we're going to start car dealerships, or we're going to start a marketing company, or we're going to start a fucking toy company. It didn't matter what the hell the next thing would be. I guarantee you, with the skill sets the two of us have, the mindsets that we have, and the ability that we have to go out and find the people that we know would coach us to do whatever our damn next goal would be, within 6 to 12 months, both of us will be back exactly where we are, in a completely different industry if we had to be.
Yeah, no, 100%. Like, I mean, I pay for a coach. I have a coach. I meet with my coach once a month. We go over all my rocks, make sure that I'm on track. And then we go through everything. Cost me like a little over $1,000 a month is what I spend on that coaching. I have a therapist that I see weekly, so I go to a therapist weekly. I have a fitness coach that I check in with every single Saturday. So I have 3 coaches, right? So I have 3 coaches right now. And I go to small men's groups. So I have Josh Stallings is my coach mentor spiritually. So when I'm going through spiritual stuff and I have questions about the Bible, I read something I don't quite understand how it correlates to my life. He gives me that because he's so good at understanding the Bible, that he understands the situation of when it was going on, and he can kind of revert to history and then kind of paint a picture for me. And I'm like, oh, I can see it. Like, I get it. Right. It was pretty awesome, man. Like, this week I went, I got back because, obviously in Vegas, I wasn't able to go, and I watched it virtually, but
no, bro, I want to go back to your fucking men's group. That's how fucking cool it was.
Yeah. I went Tuesday to church, And then Wednesday they had something called Kingdom Builders that they started at my church, where they do like, it's just for businesses, and it's about like, you know, faith forging businesses. And dude, there must have been like 180 people at that one. And I was like, dude, this is dope, man. I love my church, because like everybody shows up, these small group, and it was all business owners and stuff like that. It was really, really good, man. So it was pretty cool. Pastor Jeff was there. He was help leading it. So it was like, it was awesome. And I'm like, man, the more stuff and it's like, it was funny because like it came up, and Josh was like, hey man, let's do this. And I was like, yeah, I could make that. He's like, well, let's go. I'll go with you. Let's go. We both own businesses. Let's do it. And I was like, all right, man, cool. But it's just like having somebody there that encourages you. That's what a coach does, right? He encourages you to do the things that you've already told him you want for yourself. They're on the outside. They don't know what's going on in your mind. They don't care. What they're there to do is remove the blocks and keep you focused on what you need to be focused on. Everything else, they're like, listen, go talk to your therapist about that shit. I'm keeping you on track for the business, right? So then what do? I go talk to my therapist. Hear what I'm saying to you. If I'm stuck at a point fitness-wise, and my guy's like, dude, you got to block, man. What the fuck are you doing? I take that to my therapist and be like, hey, I'm really struggling with my fitness right now because I think I got this blah, 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 blah. And we work through it, right? So it's like, it's not just one, it's multiple things. You want to get better at stuff in your life, hire people that can help you.
What are the 4 categories? Tell them.
I would say faith.
Yes.
Right? Your faith. Where are you getting your leadership and your faith? And the Bible's a great place to go.
Yes.
But what mentor do you have? What human mentor, brother or sister do you have that's leaning over you, praying over you, and putting hands on you, right? Like that's so important, especially for men, having that mentorship, that partnership, that leadership within your church or within your faith, where you have somebody that's able to guide you, that's a senior to you, that knows more about the path you're trying to go down. Faith is so important. Second is family. How are you strengthening your family? How are you being a better husband, a better wife? A lot of that does come from therapy, right? That's a big reason why I go to therapy, because we're in an industry where we are inherently selfish, unbelievably inherently selfish. Our needs are so much more important than everybody else's needs. In our mind, and you know this, especially being a broker for a decade or more, you are a selfish psychopath, right? Because you're like, nothing's more important than my clients that need me right now because they're at a pharmacy and they can't get their prescription, right? And we take this like delusion of grandeur that, you know, heart surgeons don't even have as important job as me, right? Like my shit is the most important thing. So it causes us to do some actions and live some ways that kind of interfere with the family life, and they can. This is why a lot of relationships end up in dismay in this industry, and it's a shame. And one simple change, therapist. Go to a mental therapist and talk about it. If you need counseling, do marriage counseling, get together, have a clear conversation with your family and set expectations. So you're trying to meet up to them. I don't succeed at this. I fail at this. This is why I'm in therapy, right? Like this is why I utilize all these tools to get better and better and better. The point is I get better and better every day, right? That's a big reason why I go to those faith-based small men's groups, because not only is it serving me spiritually, it's also serving me for my family, right? Atomic Habits, you stack your habits. That's how you get better. You do more things that are all aligned. You start to align things. So instead of having like 4 points of being like faith, family, fitness, finances, you build it into a totem pole. So at the top, it's God, and everything that you do praises from God and pours down into the family, the home, the kingdom style home. And then that pours into your fitness, right? So you undo all those blocks. You got something to live for. You got energy because you're vitalized with love and with spirit. That makes it easier to go to the gym, keep yourself healthy. Super important. I have a coach for that. And then finances, right? Finances important. That's your business. How are you running your business? And a lot of times the people that are happy and successful in business, they have those other things aligned as well. I'm not saying there's plenty of people out there that are billionaires that are overweight and look very happy on the outside. Maybe they're with all these models and they have all these relationships. And you may look from the outside, you know, looking in, you'd be like, wow, that looks like an amazing life. No one telling them what to do. They're gallivanting and they're living their life. I guarantee those guys are lonely, right? They want what you think is an anchor or a stress point. You have a wonderful wife or a husband, you have kids, you have this love that's right there. You have everything described as what heaven is, right? People that love you, that would do anything for you, people that you're responsible for. I mean, this is your blood, your flesh. And we look outside being like, if I don't have the Porsche, then I'm not happy. You see what I'm saying? The God being the first thing helps you align what success really is, which is your wife and kids or your husband and kids. And that's really the measure of where you measure your success.
Yep.
And your fitness is how
Amen.
you have the energy to make the money and kind of, and it flows back and forth up and down this totem pole. And it's very becomes synergistic, right? Those 4 things you got to super focus on. But all of that takes coaching, takes mentorship, takes systems, and takes structure. Right? I'm not telling you the Iron Apex, the Apex OS system is going to help you forge a better faith or forge a better, relationship with your wife. It won't, right?
But we're not going to discourage.
It'll help fix the finance part, right? We'll skip right to the bottom. That's what the OS system is for. Our operating system that we're going to be developing for you guys is going to help you with that bottom part. But what I do believe is this: it's not just about the money that you make from more sales. It's about the time you buy back when you automate your systems. That time that you bought back, I rarely hear this, Josh. If I had more money, I'd spend more time with my kids. If I had more money, I'd spend more time with my wife, or I'd take her out on date nights. It's never that. It's always, if I had more time. If I had more time, I'd spend it with my kids.
Reality is, the more money you have, the more time you have.
That's it. And the thing is, if you automate and you use the right systems, you can buy back a tremendous amount of your time, and that time can go into the things that move the needle. And when we talk about moving the needle, that's not always money. What moves the needle for me, I'll give you a great example. My wife on Monday was like, hey, can you take Friday off? And can we just, spend the day? I think she wanted to take my daughter to a place called Wiki Washi, where they have like mermaids, like real life mermaids and stuff. Not like real life, but like people that dress up like mermaids and breathe underwater. Wiki Washi Springs, great. So I was like, without even thinking, I was like, yeah, I'll just take it off. Called Rachel, my assistant. Hey, listen, cancel my whole day Friday, rearrange it, figure it out. She was like, okay, that's it. Okay. And I was like, great, done. And I sat there and I sat back and I said, fuck, man, life is good, dude. Like, life is good, right? Life is great. The fact that I can do that lets me know that I'm successful. Now, did Josh make more money than me last week? 100%. But I took fucking Friday off without batting an eye. Yeah. And I ain't got to worry about shit. All my calls will be answered. All my stuff will be done. I don't have to worry about shit. And I can enjoy a beach day, because we're going to do the beach instead. Enjoy a beach day with my family all day and not worry about shit on a fucking Friday. Feels great to be able to do that after being in Vegas for like 4 freaking days and having this crazy schedule, right? I'm still able to be like, I can just do it. I can do whatever I want because I have systems in place. Now, it wasn't like that for the last 4 or 5 years. I was, on the dude. I tell you right now, 2023, brother. I was at masterminds monthly for 4 or 5 days at a time, every month for like 18 months straight. My wife was like, "You got to fucking chill,
chill it out on the mastermind.
You got to chill." And I was like, "Why?" I'm like, "Oh, I'm learning so much." Right? And she's like, "You're done." Dude, it was so, I was going to Miami so much, North Carolina, Miami, here locally in Tampa, Dallas. I'm all over the place, dude. Arizona, it was insane. And I learned a lot from it. And I also was extremely selfish and didn't realize that, because in my mind, I'm thinking, hey, I'm sacrificing all this time for my industry, for my clients, for my team, for my brokers, for my family. Like, I'm doing this for other people. You know what I mean? So now that I have all the knowledge, we can finally put something together that's for the people. And what I'm trying to get to is that sacrifice that I made, you don't have to make the same sacrifices, right? The products that we're going to bring to you aren't just like, there's a lot of good products out there, guys, for lead acquisition, where you got like T65 seminars being booked right on your calendar. Boom, 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 right?
I've had 6 of them booked while we were on this webinar.
From that company?
Yeah, from my ads I have going. I've had 6
with that company, you're saying?
Booking up? No, just me with the ads.
No, I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about this. You can hire these other companies, right?
Yeah. No, hire us.
I'm getting to that, right? But like, you hire these other companies, but they're only one dimensional, right? So they're saying like, hey, we build you out this system that's cookie cutter, very templatized, and then we give you one ad set, and we have this proven system, and we run this, and that's it. You basically own none of the information, none of the intellectual. You're locked into a product. There's no coaching on the back end. There's no systems on the back end. There's no operational know-how on the back end. There's no true like organization for the long term, right? That's the difference of what we want to add, right? Like
Yes.
I'll sell you a full build on your
1,000%.
GHL. You want me to build you out a system? I'll build you out a system. No problem. You want us to build you out ad sets? We'll build you out ad sets. You want us to build you out AI agents? We'll build you out AI agents, right? Like we know how to do all of that and connect it into your system to where it actually works. The difference is when you get a package from us on the back end, we have memberships, which allows you to still be in the mastermind. And I know what Josh said is like, hey, we want to recruit you. Yeah, we want to recruit the people that are in shitty situations. But I've got friends that have 6,000, 7,000 brokers. I would never recruit his brokers because he's coming to me to get the information so he can better serve his team. And I'm like, brother, you're like-minded. You need to be on enterprise level. And I think when Josh was saying we're looking for 10 to 15 people, those are the people we're looking for. We're looking for FMO owners, large agency owners to be part of this core master. And just to be honest with you, if you're a broker with 300 people, you can't afford to be at that level. Not yet. This is why you got to invest in yourself and invest. And hear what I'm saying to you. Invest in yourself and invest in your systems. You cannot just go out and buy a pre-made system and be like, here it is. Now I've got a system for my business. No, but you don't own that system. That's not your system. If you get a system from us, you own the system. You understand? You own the system. It's your system. Yes. What you're paying us for a monthly retainer for is to help you keep that system running, updating that system, doing your ad sets, giving you the information, letting you know what's performing, what's not performing, giving you the numbers so you have the data so we can properly assess and then scale what you're doing as soon as it starts catching and working, right? Because for everybody's going to be different because everybody wants to do something different. We do webinars, right? We like webinars. We like veterans. Some people want to do DSNP, right? Some people love that DSNP market. It's not for me. But some people love it. Some people just want to do T65, but maybe they want to do TikTok, right? Like, I don't care what you want to do it on. Pick one, scale it down, pull 2, 3 ad sets, test them, boil it down to 1 or 2, run them like a motherfucker, right? Like, you don't need more than 3 ads. Like, I love this. This is what I learned on Thursday. You weren't able to be there on Thursday, but on Thursday, we were talking about like successful ad sets. And someone had brought up where they were running like 7 different ads and spending like $30K a month on ads. And the guy was like, you're crazy. He's like, you're running too many ads. He said, you shouldn't run a second ad until your first ad is taking $10,000 a month in ad spend. And I was like, I love that. In fact, that's going to be my new rule for me. I will not run 2 ads. I'm only going to run 1 ad until the ad is so successful that I'm putting 10 grand down every month to run that ad. Guys, there's only one reason you put 10 grand into an ad. It's because it's a fucking rock star ad. It's a rock star ad, which typically 4 to 1, which means if I'm putting in 10, I'm getting 40 grand back in ROI. Yep. That's rock star ad. That's when you start scaling up. So to his point, he was like, you don't start just doing other ads because all you're doing is shifting focus. Focus on one thing, fix it so it works. Ads always work. It's just about time in and timing. So it's all about those things, getting them right? So I think there's a lot of things that people are not doing in this space and they're just relying on someone to do it. And listen, we do that for you, but we're also going to explain it to you. And it's so much so I was even talking to Josh about this. We were discussing like, I want to give outlandish guarantees. Here's the best thing. If I gave you leads, right? Like Josh, listen, we're going to put, let's say we say, hey, in 60 days, we'll guarantee you 50 new clients in 60 days, right? I'll guarantee you 50 new clients in 60 days. And if you didn't have it, we'll train your team for free. Like we'll literally come in and train your sales team on how to close, because at that point, we know it's not a lead problem. You've got a conversion issue. And the conversion issue usually happens in a couple places. It happens in your copy, it happens in your messaging, it happens in your squeeze pages. But if they made an appointment, they actually meet with you, that's a sales problem. Your closers suck. Be your best friend. They could write 450 policies a year, 800 policies a year. But you know what? Maybe they suck on the phone. Maybe they suck on Facebook leads. Maybe they don't know what they're doing on that because the attention capture is different. Maybe they're used to just doing person-to-person type stuff. But there's ways to scale and coach those people where other companies, they're not doing that for you. They're just going to say, hey, well, we're giving you the leads. The rest is just on you. The difference is impact. We want to create you into a machine. We want you guys closing. We want you to help us put the telemarketers out of business. And the only way that's going to happen is by equipping brokers with AI and automations and the same systems those guys are using, I don't want to say illegally, but not in the most ethical way all the time. I'm not saying all of them, right? But there's a few out there that kind of ruin it for the bunch. But if we can teach brokers that have the right mindset, they've got the right core values, right? The right story, the right background, the right drive, the right passion. If we can teach them the same systems that the gatekeepers are holding to themselves, they're not letting you know about it. The automations, the newsletters, the SEO, the AEO, the CRO, all that stuff, like all those growth metrics that you don't even know about. They don't, in fact, I don't know why they don't teach that shit in the certifications. Like learn how to read growth metrics, right? So you know where you can grow and where you shouldn't grow. All that stuff comes in a system, guys. And if you just systematize everything that you're doing, your success comes up so much faster. It really, really does. And I wish I would have known this shit. Yeah, I wish I wouldn't have scoffed as much when B Connect was out. And I was like, oh, B Connect, dude, I'll do what I want, man. I'm putting my stuff on Post-it like I'm cool. You know what I mean? Like, fucking idiot. I should have learned this stuff years ago. Just I'm deep in it now. And it's wild to me, right? I when I go around these masterminds, I say, you ever see anybody for health insurance? They're like, never. Never. They're like, we never, sometimes life insurance. They're like, we see life insurance guys sometimes. And I'm like, okay. No health insurance. Do you guys know of any health insurance marketers that just do health insurance? They're like, no, we don't know anybody niched in that. That's when I knew that this was the opportunity. Like you were saying earlier, Josh, you were like, people will tend to move because they're looking for something that fills a bigger problem so they can sell it for more, right? The bigger the problem, the bigger the solution. We've got a big problem in health insurance right now, especially Medicare. Under 65 market too, but especially Medicare, is we have a massive workforce that is gravely unprepared for what's happening in technology. Okay. And it's going to be at the, and you could say whatever you want. I'm crazy, whatever. Not everybody who agrees with me. But if you just follow the money and you see how much insurance companies are spending on AI and automation right now, you have to know what they're trying to do. They are replacing the human touch. The human touch in insurance is us. So if we don't get on top of that and you don't build, a lot of that has to do with brand, right, Josh? If you're not on top of that and building your own brand, you're going to be banging trouble. And you can't hide behind the excuse being like, oh, I don't know what to do. You're not using AI. That's why you don't know what to do. And I could literally tell you all the scripts, when to post them, how to film them, what to wear, everything. Can build your whole brand profile. In fact, I sell it. This is what we sell at Apex. It's our base level thing. It's called a ground truth statement. We literally let you know what your brand is, what colors you should wear, who your ideal avatars are. We give you your whole background story, your origin story, all based off of questions we ask you. So this is factual stuff that you're giving to us. We stylize it and put in a massive document that you then feed to AI, ChatGPT, Claude, Jasper, whatever you're using, Gemini, whatever you're using, you feed it to that and it knows who you are and what you're going after. Simplifies your life with AI. Builds guardrails. And then from there, you can build out AI agents and bots that can do tons of stuff for you to keep you aligned in everything that you do. So when you're like, I don't know what to post, I don't talk about, it's easy. We teach you how to scrape the internet and find what people are talking about getting millions of views. And you just talk about the same shit. That's it. It's not hard. It's not rocket science. You find someone that's doing what you want and you say, well, what are they doing? Well, I'm just going to do that, but I'm going to do it my way. That's it. Change a couple of words. Here's my thing. I've done the webinars in the past and the webinars, they didn't work for me. And I remember I was talking to Josh and he was like, dude, webinars are killing it for me right now. I was like, fuck, dude, like I do great at the in-persons. We're getting 75 people show up to our in-persons, but I get like 9 people to show up to my webinar. And I'm like, oh, well, he's getting the great results. I've been doing this 23 fucking years. My ego's like, well, if Josh can do it, I can do it. And you know what? That's what my ego says. But you know what my brain and my heart tells me? What are you talking about? Just say, Josh, pretty please, can I use your same system? So I said, hey, Josh, pretty please, can I use your same system? He said, yeah, Philippe, no problem. I said, fucking great. There it is. This starting from scratch thing, like this is cool. Like I built this from scratch. You're an idiot. You didn't have to build shit from scratch. I can't tell you the last time I made a scratch biscuit. Fuck that. I buy the Pillsbury, pop it open, throw that shit in there. Or I go to Bojangles or Bob Evans and I buy a freaking biscuit. You make no scratch biscuit, dude. Even pancakes. I don't make pancakes from scratch. I get pancake mix. Yeah. It's a mix. You're adding water Like, what are you making from scratch? Mashed potatoes from scratch? Bullshit. How often? Like, you build something from scratch. You don't need to. If someone is offering you systems and it makes sense for your budget, what else are you going to spend the money on? If not growing your business, you can buy more postcards. You can buy a ad in a newspaper. You can buy a radio spot. And at least for some people, they're doing this and they own that space. But holy smokes, guys! Like, if somebody owns that space, which they probably do already, you ain't getting into it. Plus, that's time. There's a lot of time that goes in. The fastest way to acquire business today is paid ads. The fastest way, right or wrong, Josh, right or wrong?
100%.
There's nothing faster than a paid ad. I mean, if you wanted 600 leads tomorrow, I'd get you 600 leads in a day.
Yeah, me too.
With paid ads. In fact, that should be the offer. That'll be my $97 a month
that's
offer.
the offer.
I'll get you
right
600 leads in a week.
Yes, we'll give you
600 leads in a week
week.
for $97 a week. For $97 a week, I'll get you that much. And you got to spend on you got to do the ad spend. But for the management, that's how fucking easy it is to get leads. How qualified they are is a different story, right? Because qualification comes from systems. And who works them? I had a major lead problem. I didn't have a lead problem. I figured out what my other problem was. I didn't have a BDR system. Yeah. My BDR system sucks, right? Because my BDR system was all automated, which is great. But the automation, because we built it before voice AI is where it's at now, and voice AI still isn't great, but there's better versions of it, right? Which we're going to start employing. But we use a lot of SMS and a lot of email, but there's nothing like the raw call. Problem is, this would go to brokers. And I either had a broker that had low energy or low drive, so they wouldn't call that lead until a day later, 2 days later, 3 days later, whenever they felt like it. And where that may work if you're at an event and you meet someone and they fill out a BRC card and you hold on to that, and I'm going to call them. And 2 days go by and you call them like, oh yeah, I remember you gave me a donut, whatever, right? In Facebook world, in paid ads world, you got 5 minutes, 10 minutes, and that lead is dead. You got to be banging the phones because they're going to forget or click on another ad. So you had these brokers, low drive, low energy, right? Very, very patient. So they're willing to sit on it forever. And I'm like, terrible match, because I'm giving them this lead. They can't call it, right? So I said, what's the solution? I'm gonna give it to my killers, because those guys are high drive, high energy. They're killing it. Guess what the problem was there? They're killing it. So they're busy. They're so busy, they literally can't get to the lead until 2-3 hours later, sometimes immediately. But then they call once, twice, 3 times, and boom, they got a client call, and boom, they got an appointment to go to. They only call them 3 times and say, oh, I'll try it later, right? And it's because they're busy, because they're high drive, high energy, and they're not patient, which is fantastic for closing. So it's like, what do? You hire for that position. You hire a BDR. You hire a person that their only job in life is to call those Facebook leads and get them to book an appointment. That's it. Get to book an appointment. You don't close them. I mean, you get to that stage eventually where your BDR is a closer. But yeah, you just get a BDR that's going to do it for you. Now, voice AI is getting better, so we can start implementing that some. But I'm still at that point where I'm just going to hire a BDR, man, that's going to do all the appointment setting for me. Because once I start the Medicare virtuals, I'm going to have the same problem again, right? Yes. My schedule is going to fill up, and I only want to take 3 to 4 appointments a day. And then I'm going to have to like round robin with my brokers. You know what I'm saying? And then speak the realism to them, like, hey, listen to me. You guys need to do like shifts on like who's doing this if you want massive action quickly, massive action. Because the intention, guys, when someone is doing a webinar and they're watching you do like a Medicare 101, and by the way, we can track this so we can see how long they watched, where they stopped, yada, yada. They watch the whole thing and they book an appointment with you. That is damn near
as good as the leads you get.
That is as good of a lead as you get, because they come on pre-educated. So it literally compresses your appointment time as well.
They already know, like, and trust you. They're already educated. They're really just ready for you to tell them what to do.
That's it. At that point, you're holding their hand and you're walking them through some options and you're done, right? So the brilliance of that is so strong. That's something that we do offer. It's in our top package where we actually build out your systems and we walk you through the ad management. We walk you through the whole process. And that's going to be our top structure that we have for people, right?
So
and
some people it's going to fit, 2 weeks.
Some doesn't, right? Yeah. And some people it's going to fit and some people it doesn't. We actually have somebody right now that wants to jump on it because I did their whole ground truth statement. They're like, oh my God, this is killer. What's next? What's next? I need to know. What's next? And I was like, well, we've got this coming and this coming. And they're like, I want to go now. I want to go now. And I'm like, okay, yeah, no worries. We'll get you patched up like immediately. So I just sent out the proposal for that. But anyhow, so guys, these things are coming. And realistically, we can only do so many.
Yeah.
Like I'll just be honest with you. Like I had to cut the ground truth statement off, dude. There were people calling me. I was like, I can't do it. I got too many people. Like I literally can't take anybody else to build these out until this phase is done. After this phase is done, I'll open it up again. But it went so great. I mean, literally, you had somebody reach out to you at a blues, be like, this guy Philippe on stage was talking some crazy shit, but it sounds like it's legit and it makes sense. And I'm like, because it fucking does, man. And then he reached out to Josh, and Josh is like, yeah, legit. This guy worked with this guy. This guy knows what he's fucking talking about. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't get asked to MC a mastermind for marketing because I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about, or I don't know what I'm doing. Right? I don't do keynotes because people are like, oh, yeah, I want to pay Philippe because he's got good fucking energy. Who's fucking paying someone thousands of dollars to do a keynote? Doesn't even belong to that agency. Yeah. Who does that, right? Like, it doesn't just happen from accident. It happens from design. It happens from design because I knew I wanted to impact this industry. And like we were saying, nobody remembers who sold the most. What we do remember are the people that change the fabric of how we do things. And when I have people look back, I want them to look back on me and Josh and be like, dude, that Iron Apex thing, that was something. That was something that sparked something way bigger. Now, what's going to happen is there going to be alternatives. There are going to be people that are going to come in and say, yeah, we do the same thing. We do the same thing. We do the same thing. But I want you to remember this. Me and this guy right here, we have been in this business a really long time. And we actually still participate in this business, and we have zero desire not to participate. There's no point I see in my career where I'm not doing Medicare 101s and I'm not selling some products. Because here's the thing, I fucking love doing it. I actually like doing it. I do. Now, I understand that for me, I need to focus more on training and recruiting because that's really what's going to scale my company. Me selling individual products won't, but I still want to do it. So I'm still fitting it in where I've got appointment slots that I can fill up because I'm not at that threshold yet where I'm ready to close my book of business, right? So it's like, I still want to grow that. And I know that I got the other responsibilities and I got the systems to kind of help me out with all that stuff, right? But I want people to remember us for the systems that we put in place. I want people to remember us being like, these guys actually did. And as things were changing in the industry, they were on pace with all of it. And they walked us through everything. Not only did they go through the fire, they walked us through the fire, right? So it's like bringing you through it as well, where there's a lot of great guys out there that run great marketing ads and great marketing systems. And I'm not going to name them by name because I don't want someone to be like, oh, you're disparaging them, or like, oh, hey, I'm supporting them. Like, I don't support them or not support them. I'm like, brother, this is free enterprise and capitalism. Like, if you have a product that you want to sell and you want to charge somebody for it, whatever, dude, you want to overcharge people? Great. Do your thing, man. You're totally free to do that. I mean, it's open enterprise. You do whatever you want to do. But for me, I want to learn from the people that are me. You know, I want to learn from the people that know what's going on. And I can't tell you guys, I speak from experience, 5 years of frustration working with marketers. I spent over $380,000 in 5 years on marketing, masterminds, systems, all that stuff, only to continuously find people that knew nothing about our avatar, nothing about our business, nothing about our mindset, nothing about our culture. And they try to implement like, oh, it's the same thing as real estate. No, it's not. It's the same thing as life insurance. No, it's not. It's the same thing as property and casualty. No, it's not. It's nothing like any of that. It's completely unique, completely different. Oh no, this ad set will work because it works for this. No, It won't. Right? So it's like we had to do this over and over and fail and fail and fail and fail. And no one was there leaving us breadcrumbs. And now that we've done all that, we've got so much that we can give to you. And you don't need all of it. You need, like Josh said, 2 or 3 little things to adjust. We're able to extract that from you. By the way, you might be like, I don't even know where to start. Don't worry. That's the best thing. You don't know where to start. We do a ground truth statement with you. We tell you exactly where you're at and where your gaps are. And then you're like, holy shit, I didn't even know those existed. You're like, these are the gaps that we need to plug. This is how we can plug them. This is what you need to do. Expectation, right? There's expectations on what you need to do. And then we look at your wants and needs, right? And we say, okay, what do you want and what do you need? Needs, most of the time, we don't even know what we need. We know what we want, but we don't know what we need. We help you find where your gaps are. And that's the reality, is where gaps are. Take your wants and needs, your expectations, and meet them in the world of reality. And that's going to be the right fix and the right strategy for you and your company. And everything comes in phases. You can't run before you walk, right? So we do phase 1. take you through a real simple phase. Phase 2, take you to the next phase. Phase 3, take you to the next phase. And everybody deploys at a different time. You'd be like, well, how did you launch that guy in 30 days and it's taking you 90 days to launch me? Because you don't have a social media profile and you're using Excel spreadsheets and you're not even using Google Sheets. You're using like Excel sheets on old school Microsoft 360. You still got Windows 10, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's going to take longer to onboard you. It's going to take longer to build your system. But that's why it's like, I'm not going to sell you this. A lot of these companies cookie cutter. Hey, buy my CRM for $800 a month and it does all this stuff for you. And you're like, great. And then you get in and you're like, wait, hold on a second. I got to build all this shit. What do you know about workflows and triggers and WC keys and API keys? Like, what do you know? Do you even know what the fuck I'm talking about? How do you connect everything? You know what I'm saying? Like, crazy. I'll tell you one thing that was great today, brother, is I finally got around to it. I keep forgetting to do it, but I finally got around to like where I automated my whole Fathom process. So now, like, after every appointment that I do with a client, I record everything on Fathom. Literally, my from the CRM goes into Claude. Claude then pulls everything from the Fathom video, writes out the first 4 emails and the first four text messages based on the conversation and all the facts on how to get that person closed, puts it right into the workflow, automates and sends it out. Done.
Let's go.
Done, dude. Like every appointment, I'm done with an appointment. I hang up on the phone in 30 minutes. They're getting touched already. Boom, quick. Thank you so much for the call. I just wanted to get a recap of what we talked about today. This is what you can expect. I'm going to contact you. 2 days. Boom, hit him up again. Hey, listen, it's been 2 days. This is what we went over. This is where you should be at. This is that. It's time to rebook that call. Boom, hit that thing right there. Bam, gets it right in. Automated. I don't got to do shit now. My assistant ain't got to do shit either.
Just show up. Yeah, bro.
All she's got to do is make sure that it's not fucking up. That's it. And it don't take much. You know, that we did fuck up the first one though, right? Classic problem. Whenever you're doing an automation, you're doing a trigger drop or a workflow bump, you got to make sure that shit is not on minutes, it's on hours. Okay. Because otherwise that person's going to get, we had it on seconds actually. So it was like 1 second, 24 seconds and 48 seconds. He got 3 text messages. Bah, 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 bah. Like, I was like, oh shit.
Yeah.
He's like, whoa. You're moving light speed fast here on me. I already got like the payment link here. You know what I'm saying? So just automate it. And that's just a simple fix, guys. It's like one thing. Is taking notes on, like, it's great you have an AI note taker. How often are you going back into the note taker and be like, oh, let me watch this video and read all the notes? Barely ever, right? So it's like, how are you automating so it's constantly updating when you're talking to people? And it's all those workflows. Same thing if I'm meeting with clients. Now the Fathom is going to pull it, record it, bump it up, create a to-do list. Hey, we need to update this. We need to update that. We need to update this. I don't got to do shit, man. I just saved myself like another 3 hours a week by just connecting that. 3 hours a week, just connecting that. I probably saved my assistant Kim like 7 hours, 8 hours a week. Because I mean, I'm running fucking 9-10 calls a day, bro. Like, I got a lot of Fathoms, man. That's like, when I'm ready to do HeyGen, my shit's gonna look fucking flawless. It's gonna be like movie quality. Because so do you. You're like, I'm gonna talk some shit now. Josh is just lazy. Josh is just fucking lazy. So Josh was like, hey, that's why I wanted to clown you, because I was like, dude, are you fucking kidding me? How many thousands of hours of recorded voice do you have? And your voice sounds like Mickey Mouse talking about who mana. I was like, oh my God. This guy pulled like the 15-minute voice authorization on fucking 11 Labs instead of opting out for the 3-hour record. Just pump all your. I got to help you with that. I got to get your recordings up.
Yeah, we'll get it, bro.
I'm telling you, man, because your voice and your face should be like identical with the amount of content that you have. Yeah. Like, that's what I mean. The amount of stuff that I have, like sitting like this with good lighting, I'm like, holy shit, dude. I'm fucking still Synthesia, you know, all that Higgsworth and all that shit, dude. Like, it's great. But I think there's a place to it. You like using Higgsworth to make, like, when you're doing the carousels or like B-roll stuff, where it's like you can just create B-roll with you really quick and you do the overlay, because like the content, that's another thing, content, right? Like, how do you post content? What's the right content? Face on, side, this and this, that. You know, Dave is really good at that when they're talking about like the content and where to shoot and how to shoot, and like all these angles and all the different things to do with the splits and the yes nos and the scalings and all that. And it's like, dude, you don't see anybody in fucking Medicare doing that, right? We're gonna start doing that shit. We're going to start doing that shit, right? Like 100%. We're
learning from marketers, Philippe, and that's the thing. Like, fuck all you other insurance agents who are just learning from these other fucking retards. Who
you learning from other retarded agents?
Yeah, they stopped producing 10 years ago, and they're going to tell you how to produce in today's world. Meanwhile, we're partnering with the top of the food chain
of marketers
of every other industry possible. And they don't even know about insurance yet. And Philippe and I are like, listen, you guys, there's more money in this industry than any other industry possible. And as soon as they learn that shit, you guys are all fucked because we're already ahead of you. So join us or get dominated by us.
Exactly. And it's a beautiful thing because like that's the impact story. That's the impact story when people come over here. And I promise you, our prices are not hitting you over the head. We're way below. We are significantly below what a traditional marketing agency would charge you for the amount of stuff we're doing for you, because it's not only just building out workflows, building out AI agents, building out ground truth statement, building out nurture, building out your three acquisition system, retention systems, and upsell systems, and then getting ads on top of that. Literally getting ad management. You get an entire ad management team that's running your fucking ads. Are you kidding me? To get an ad manager on its own is $1,500 a month. Right? So it's nuts. So the packages we're putting together do we make money? Of course we're making fucking money. That's what it's designed for, guys.
Yeah, what do you think?
We're not taking advantage of people. We're not taking advantage of people. And to be honest with you, I'm going to take a book out of, I'm going to take a page.
We can charge twice as much and still be of value to them.
That's what I mean. I'm going to take a page out of Gil's book and be like, yeah, I'm going to start at this. And then in a year from now, you guys are all fucked because all the prices are going up. And unless you jumped in the early stages, you don't get to take it. You know, we're lucky that me and Josh got into the mastermind right now in the first phase. And we were at the very end of the first phase because we got a huge bump for free. And everybody else had to pay literally $30,000 for the bump we got for free. I said that shit on stage too. I said, holy shit, man, I just found out I got all this free shit. I'm fucking stoked.
Yeah, we're fucking got boners now. Shit.
All right, brother. We got all this fucking free shit. Like we showed up at the perfect time. You know what I mean?
Timing
so we saved $30K by being early. And I listened to that and I was like, it's exactly what I'm going to do. There are people that are going to listen to this. There are people going to see us and be like, oh, it's just another AI guy. No, it's fucking not. No, it's not. Follow me. Yeah. Follow me. Follow Josh. See what we've been talking about for fucking years, man. Years I've been talking this game. Years. You will see me doing seminars. You will see me in a packed room. You'll see me with insurance companies and doctor companies and brokers and going to events and going to conventions and doing content at Disney, doing content on cruise boats, doing content everywhere I'm else. And all that content's about is either public speaking, motivation, or something around insurance. And usually the motivation is around insurance and the public speaking is around insurance. And the insurance is around health insurance, right? Specifically health insurance, mostly. Some stuff on life and some other topics, but that's because I love the insurance industry, just like Josh, right? So we're always chiming in on those things, but check the pedigree, man. Like you see these guys and you're like, yeah, well, that guy, you know, he's doing all this. He's an ads manager. Tell me what he knows about Medicare. I mean, you got a guy that's wearing a t-shirt and a backwards cap and you're like, oh, I resonate with that guy. Not if you're a fucking broker, you don't. Like if you're a broker, you can look at someone and be like, that dude is not a street level broker. That guy's working in a call center. He's wearing fucking sweatpants and an AP watch. And he's got $50,000 watch on and he's wearing sweatpants in a video telling me to buy things from him. And I'm like, you don't look like us. You are not us. We are built different, right? Like this to me is down dress right here. And I do usually wear a t-shirt, but it's a branded t-shirt and it's got my brand on it. All I wear is my brand. So do I wear t-shirts? Of course I do. Do I wear t-shirts in the field? Absolutely not. I wear polos. Polo is the most casual I go in the field, man. And Josh has seen what I usually wear. I usually wear a fucking suit.
Let's go.
I have a ton of hand-tailored suits. We can have a whole fucking workshop on tailored suits because I love tailoring all of my clothes. All of my clothes gets tailored. I love it. And I'm not saying that as a brag. If you're not getting shit tailored, you haven't done any research. It costs me actually less money to buy clothes because I have a tailor. I go to Brooks Brothers right now and buy a total fucking clown suit, right? By clown suit, I mean it's like a 58 fucking long jacket and like 30 fucking 1,000 feet of length in the pants. And it's like a, you know, regular fit. And I can go to a tailor and do an entire suit, right? I get a Brooks Brothers suit for 90% off, go to a tailor and have them completely make it fit to me like a glove. And it costs me a fraction of the price. Get a good tailor, right? Just like anything in life, you want the shortcuts, you got to get the good help, right? So yeah, man, I'm super stoked. I'm excited for the future. I'm excited to get this thing rolled out, man. We're working on the finites of it.
Yes.
I think tomorrow at 3:00 we have some stuff that we're going to be working
ready. No, we're about, you got strap in. Tune in 2 weeks from now. We're going to have exponentially more to offer, more
Yep.
to bring to the table. And if you can't tell, both of us give a shit about you and
do.
your success. And that, like we could do this podcast for ourselves. Like, we're both handsome men and we both know we got bringing to the table, but we don't need to. I don't need to see myself on fucking camera or hear myself on video. Like, this is for everybody else out there and to help people really level up in ways that you've never thought possible. So stay tuned. The Iron Apex is just in the infancy of what it's bringing to the table, and both of us are going to be exhibiting what you may want to copy over the next several months. And so stay tuned. We'll see you next week. Thank you for tuning in, and we will see y'all in 2
God
weeks.
bless, guys. Have a great night.
Yes.